The year was 1983. America was moving through a decade of change, where technology, culture, and the economy were shifting rapidly. But while most people remember that period for the rise of personal computers, blockbuster movies, or even the music of the era, coin collectors recall 1983 for something quite different: a small copper-colored coin that, at first glance, looked utterly ordinary. The 1983 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? What could possibly be exciting about something so common, so ordinary, and worth just a single cent? Well, that's the beauty of coin collecting. Hidden in plain sight, circulating in the pockets of millions of Americans, this coin carried a story that would fascinate collectors for decades to come. And while most people spent these pennies without giving them a second thought, a few lucky individuals discovered that some of these 1983 cents were far more valuable than their humble denomination suggested. To understand why, let's step back in time and explore the history behind this unassuming coin. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it quickly became a favorite among the public. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side, the heads, showed the bust of Lincoln in a dignified pose. Over time, the reverse design changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 1983, the memorial reverse had already been in circulation for over 2 decades, and millions upon millions of these pennies had been struck. But the 1983 penny marked an important period of transition. Just a year earlier, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a critical decision about the metal composition of the Lincoln cent. For decades, pennies had been made mostly of copper. But due to rising copper prices in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the cost of producing a penny was actually exceeding its face value. In response, the mint began switching from copper to a more affordable material, copper-plated zinc. This shift wasn't a smooth and sudden change. In 1982, both copper and zinc pennies were produced, and collectors now spend years distinguishing them by weight or by careful examination. By 1983, the change had been fully implemented, and all pennies struck were copper-plated zinc, giving the coins a slightly different feel, a different weight, and in some cases, susceptibility to corrosion. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1983 Lincoln cent struck without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia. Unlike the coins struck at the Denver Mint, which carry a small D below the date, Philadelphia's cents of this period carried no mint mark at all. At first glance, this doesn't sound unusual. After all, Philadelphia has long been the main hub for producing circulating coins, and most of its pennies bore no mint mark. But the 1983 Philadelphia penny held surprises. The biggest draw for collectors is that some 1983 pennies were struck with a rare and dramatic error, a double die reverse. For those unfamiliar with this term, a double die occurs when the design on the die, the tool used to strike coins, is impressed more than once at slightly different angles. When a coin is struck with such a die, the design features appear doubled, creating a distinctive and highly collectible error. In the case of the 1983 penny, the doubling is most noticeable on the reverse side of the coin, the Lincoln Memorial. Careful collectors can see the letters United States of America and E pluribus unum appear with a strong doubling effect. This kind of error makes the coin leap out from ordinary circulation pieces. And because error coins are inherently rare, they result from a production mistake. They immediately become treasures to those who know what to look for. Imagine holding an ordinary penny in your hand, only to realize that what you're looking at could be worth thousands of dollars because of a slight imperfection created at the mint. That's the thrill of coin collecting, and it's exactly what makes the 1983 no mint mark penny such a legend. But the double die isn't the only factor at play. Condition is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Most pennies you'll find in change are worn, scratched, and discolored. They've passed through countless hands, been tossed into jars, and even endured the harsh conditions of being dropped on sidewalks or rolling around in car cup holders. But the most valuable 1983 pennies are those that have survived in pristine condition. Collectors prize coins with sharp details, glossy luster, and minimal wear. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate these coins and assign grades, with the highest being Mint State 70, a nearly flawless specimen. Of course, most coins don't reach that grade, but those that are preserved close to perfection can command incredible prices in the open market. And so, a coin that was worth just 1 cent at the grocery store could suddenly sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on its rarity, its era features, and its condition. This is where the story of the 1983 penny captures the imagination. Think of the countless people who handled one of these coins in the 1980s, spending it without ever realizing the treasure they held. A child might have used it at a candy store. A driver might have tossed it into a toll booth. A family might have dropped it into a church collection plate. All the while, a few select examples of these coins were quietly circulating, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to pull them aside and recognize their hidden value. Today, coin enthusiasts hunt tirelessly for 1983 pennies. Collectors often recommend checking any old change jars, coin albums, or inherited collections. Who knows? One of those seemingly ordinary pennies sitting in a coffee can in your attic could be one of the rare treasures from 1983. Even beyond the doubled die, other varieties and striking errors have been reported. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and other minting mistakes can all enhance a coin's desirability. And when these errors appear on a transitional year like 1983, they become even more fascinating to the numismatic community. The broader lesson from the 1983 penny is this: never underestimate the small things. A single-cent coin, something most people consider nearly worthless, can hold incredible stories, historical significance, and even financial value. It's a reminder that treasures don't always come in the form of gold bars or diamond rings. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, in your pocket change. And now we come to the part that excites collectors the most: value. You might be wondering just how much one of these coins can actually fetch in the marketplace. While many 1983 pennies are common and worth only face value, those rare doubled die examples in high condition can sell for jaw-dropping sums at auctions. Stories circulate of collectors who struck it rich after realizing they had one tucked away in an old jar or album. One particular sale stands out, where a 1983 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, carefully graded and preserved, stunned the coin world with its hammer price. That single penny, once just pocket change, sold for $11,937.